Hello family. What happens when instead of warming your heart for the holidays, the twinkling lights only illuminate shattered hopes, and as a family all you can do is to wait and see? This is what happened to the Morcombe family from Queensland, Australia. Their son, Daniel Morcombe, was a 13-year-old boy living with his parents and brothers in the town of Palmwoods on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. On the 7th of December 2003, while on his way to get a haircut and to buy Christmas presents for his family at a local shopping center, he went missing. Witnesses reported seeing Morcombe at approximately 2:10 p.m. under the overpass waiting for a bus. Morcombe planned to catch the 1:35 p.m. bus, but the bus had broken down. When a replacement bus eventually arrived, it did not stop because it was behind schedule and the stop was unofficial. The driver radioed the depot for another bus to go and pick up Morcombe. The driver and other witnesses later reported seeing two men near Morcombe. When the second bus arrived 3 minutes later, Morcombe and the men were gone. Morcombe was reported as missing, and the police concluded that he was abducted from an unofficial bus stop under the Keel Mountain Road overpass in the Woombi district of the Sunshine Coast, approximately 2 kilometers north of the Big Pineapple. Morcombe's disappearance was one of the most extensively investigated crimes in Queensland's history. By December 12, 2008, rewards of $250,000 from the government and $750,000 donated privately had been offered. Earlier in May 2009, a full-size clay model of the man believed to be involved in Morcombe's abduction was placed at the spot where he disappeared. Within a few days, more than 300 tips were received. In July 2009, Morcombe's parents called for a coronial inquest into his disappearance. Of particular interest to the family were several criminals who had told police they knew who killed Morcombe. A coronial inquest was held between October 2010 and April 2011. The inquest called as witnesses the bus driver who had failed to stop for Morcombe at the overpass, a woman who had seen a man loitering near Morcombe, and several persons of interest. Rep. Peter Cowan, a former resident of Sunshine Coast, was charged with Morcombe's tragic end on August 13, 2011, which was 8 years later. He had previously been questioned by police after he was seen driving along the same route. He admitted to approaching Morcombe for a ride to town and claimed he declined. Cowan then led police to the Glass House Mountains, where shoes, clothing, and 17 bone fragments were found. A DNA test confirmed the remains to be that of Morcombe. On February 2014, Cowan stood trial where he pleaded not guilty to the charges of unaliving a child, indecent dealing of a child, and improperly dealing with a corpse. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. He was also sentenced to 3.5 years imprisonment for indecently dealing with Morcombe and 2 years for interfering with his corpse, those sentences to be served concurrently. Judge Rosalind Atkinson said, "I don't think you should be released in 20 years' time."
Us all forever occurred 9 years ago today. Appeal to you all, please do not be sad. Appreciate that the evil act which took Daniel happened a long time ago. Today is about embracing his return to family and being reflective of what might have been. Do we dwell on what we have lost or accept the space we are in and try and find some positives? I'm sure all who knew Daniel, including our family members, his friends, former teachers and classmates at Mountain Creek Primary School and Siena Catholic College, family friends among others, all agree the only way forward is to feel blessed that we have known him. He may no longer be with us, but Daniel's legacy will live on. The Daniel Morcombe Foundation is committed to doing all it can to ensure this never happens again by educating children on ways of keeping safe and supporting young victims of crime. The national profile and media interest in Daniel's search has allowed Denise and I to meet many other family members of missing persons, murder victims and survivors of terrible crimes. Clearly, the Morcombe family is not alone.
The Morcombe family started the Daniel Morcombe Foundation and put its resources into keeping Morcombe's disappearance in the public eye and to educating children about personal safety. These efforts are supported by the Australian media, especially on each anniversary of Morcombe's disappearance, when a day for Daniel is held to promote awareness of the vulnerability of children. In 2018, Cowan survived an attempt on his life, enduring a stab in the neck and ear by another inmate at Woolston Jail, as confirmed by prison officials. What do you think about this case? Stay tuned for more. Goodbye.